On what could have been done. There were certainly signs. We've talked about the people at the college and the teacher and the authorities who had trouble, but you can't be arrested for being creepy.
No, that's right. Laura, I don't know if you know any families that deal with mental illness in their families. Most of us do. And either we have it in our own families or we know people who struggle with that. It's a horrible, difficult, often nearly impossible thing for a family to confront. I mean, I got to tell you, my hearts go out tremendously to this family, and the statement they made expressing concern for the victims and saying, listen, we have no idea how this happened, and you have no idea how horrible we feel, struck me as an absolutely genuine human response in a circumstance like that. There, but for the grace of God, frankly, go any of our families. So as our hearts go out to the Congresswoman and the other victims here, I think it is important that we remember that perhaps among the victims suffering most, let me put it like that, or the family of this apparently seriously mentally ill young man. You know, they feel, God, it's impossible to imagine what they must be feeling right now.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are victims kind of on all sides here. And so for that family to now be in a situation where they too are suffering, having their son being accused of, you know, this most unspeakable crime is certainly one of the things that, and it appears from what I've been told that there are, you know, issues of mental health that folks are going to have to deal with here. And then imagine, you know, some folks thinking about the family itself and whether or not the family could have done more. So there'll be all of those conversations perculating.
But how are you going to, I mean, what do you expect people to do in a circumstance like that? I mean, we all have people in our lives, right, that we worry about. I mean, we have the friend who seems a little weird. We have the coworker who seems disconnected. Maybe we have relatives who, you know, we're worried about or not proud of, and yet, what are you going to do? You know, you're going to put them in jail. You hope they get treatment. You try to urge them to do that. But I think we're asking for the impossible if we expect our systems to solve these problems.
Well, I don't think that the systems can solve the problems, but I don't think that's going to stop the conversation from coming forward either. You know, because a lot of what people have said is, well, you know, should the college have reported him? Well, you know, as a professor at a university, if I were to report every student who was, quote, acting weird, I would spend all of my time doing that. So I don't think that that's a reasonable expectation, but I think you are going to have a number of folks who are basically going to say, well, what were the warning signs and what could we have done? I don't know that there is a recipe book for warning signs, and I don't know that the system is able to tackle that.
Right, no, clearly, listen, you can go back after these things and see threads running through them, right? In the same way there's been discussion about whether stuff in the larger political dialogue might have had some impact on this, whether mental health issues had an impact on it, whether it's just unpredictable craziness of a crazy person. And you know, it all gets all mushed together, and you know, you hope, even if you can't ever come up with an answer that says this is what made this kid do this thing at this time, you can step back a little bit and say, well, gee, in these broader systems here, are there things that we could improve, whether they were the specific cause or not? And I think some of them are the ones you pointed to. You know, should schools be more vigilant about kids with mental health problems? Sure. Should our political dialogue be less tinged with violence? Sure. And maybe if this case focuses our minds on that, that's one positive result, even if we can't draw a direct line between something some politician said or something some teacher did and what happened in the